All about the soul. Introduction. Akatu, as we continue to bring the light of truth and knowledge to your being, understand fully that your soul is quite aware of all information shared. In expanded consciousness, this is your experience. We are messengers to remind you of many aspects of life you chose to forget, to allow awakening in form as you break the matrix into dust and remember who you really are. Allow these moments to take you to places in your waking dream. Things forgotten. Other moments will be exciting as you realize your own personal experience at play. You are a whole complete soul with all parallel lives integrated. This dream is the completion and joining of all aspects of dreams you perceive as past. Akatu, about souls. Earth is a school, not a prison. Because of all the challenges faced in human lifetimes, many people choose to define their experience on Earth as a prison. The truth is that Earth-native souls have nowhere else to go. These souls have been reincarnating over and over as they develop into more sophisticated beings as they gain more experiences. The light forces have actually sped up the process to help them break free of continuous reincarnation by allowing limited manipulation by dark forces. The shift will be the end of this reincarnation cycle. A graduation from a very difficult school. Starseeds choose to incarnate as human and leave Earth between lifetimes. All beings agree to forget past lifetime experiences, but the soul remembers everything. Each person has the ability to draw on past experiences. This final dream story is the accumulation of all experiences from past lifetimes, which are fragments merging back into the whole soul of each person. The details of all past lifetimes will be available to everyone after the shift. Judith, part of the experience is always assisting Earth as you expand in consciousness. This applies to all souls. You discover deep aspects of your own soul as others mirror back to you what is really there. You do the same for them. Some experiences you choose to repeat for growth, or you have mastered an area and you choose to teach this. There are unlimited variables as you return again and again as male or female. You completely make the choice as a soul to live as human. Your family of origin is always aware of you, and they also have incarnated many times. In all lifetimes you have a spirit guide. There are angels watching over you, and God lives in you, as you. Your higher self is God. This is the I Am presence that is encoded in all souls. You are never alone. Who controls your soul incarnations? The soul chooses the incarnation, and the Elohim light forces, Galactic Federation, manage the process. Family, friends and guides help souls choose incarnations between lives. All souls are light, but the identity can become dark in many incarnated lifetimes. The being is out of alignment with their soul purpose. The fallen Elohim have been participating in duality both as the unseen spiritual dark forces, and as human incarnations also chosen by them. These roles are only going to be allowed until the moment of ascension. And even though light forces have been allowing duality for the experience, those who chose darkness will pay the price. The soul is never destroyed, but the original being can be taken to the central sun. Soul groups. A soul group can be from a connection from the moment of creation. These can be family or friends from stars that we remain vibrationally connected with throughout all waking dreams. Your soul group may or may not share your exact origin. We will unite with all souls from our Akashic when we shift. The soul cannot be harmed. All souls were created in perfection. It is the repetitive choice of darkness that is the identity chosen that makes the being dark, not the soul. If an identity chooses darkness over and over, it is because the vibrational frequency is so familiar that this is who they want to be, or experience again and again. They are attracting dark or negative energy which is in their consciousness, in an aspect that was once perfect. The soul is not part of this. A soul cannot be harmed or become evil. The stories can change as you know, which is the false identity, but if there is repetition of choosing to harm, with no consciousness of compassion, the identity is so dark that even though the soul has made a new plan, the remembering upon arrival becomes the dominant force, and they are once again not aligned with their soul. Those that choose darkness have become as entities living in a body, detached from a soul connection. Going to the central sun, or being destroyed, is the entity who has become totally dark and resistant by choice to light. All is free will, and even with another chance and choice, they want to be dark. As far as incarnations from planets to Earth with a purpose, it is also with their family and friends as to who comes. But it is the soul that arrives. Pleiadians and others are bilocal to Earth, but can use aspects of soul in multiple other ways if needed, as in showing up in body. If there is a low-frequency planet, and they will incarnate and face physical death, then just as Earth they are non-physical for as long as they choose, or they can reincarnate or return home. The soul enters at conception. Neo, you are living a waking dream, an aspect of consciousness with a false created identity. You need the body to maneuver in the story, or else there would be no need for body form at all. Who needed the body form? This is your proof that you existed before birth. Some will call this non-physical life form a soul. Others will simply know it as consciousness. All created aspects have lived multiple times as many beings. Each life is sacred and created with thought and intention. There is one creator of all which is unnameable. But each created being has created thought constructs for reference of the Sacred One. When does the soul enter the created body form that will be born? The moment of conception is the sacred union of body, mind, and spirit. There would be no union without a soul first making the decision to be that person. The soul has decided where to be born and for the reasons that are within that aspect of being. Each soul is unique and has lived in every conceivable way. In one life the soul might live as a mother of many children. In another life the same soul might be a ruler of nations. Karma is never about punishment, but instead it is a balance of energy and experience. For this reason, one who has experienced hunger and poverty might choose wealth. In non-physical, the soul is aware of all other lives and considers mistakes and choices. Many types of lives are repeated to assist the soul in mastery of an issue. We would certainly urge those who are taking the lives of newborns to know they will more than likely experience the same. This is murder and wrong at the level of perception. Many would ask why a soul would agree to being murdered when it is such a painful topic, and many suffer at the thought of this. There is a larger experience of spirit going on, and this soul is part of the change that will soon be. Abortion was never a plan of the divine for any reason. These sacred souls that are being killed did not plan this, but rather agreed to this for a raising of consciousness in the masses so that such a mighty change would occur that this could never happen again. The darkness comes, and then there is light. You are in the midst of this darkness now. Neo, the soul enters at conception. 10 planned soul interactions. As a human being, you have 10 beings in your life that are carefully chosen pre-birth by you and your guides. 5 of these will be in your life at various stages. They are human and are catalysts for major changes. They can assist in creating a painful situation to help you grow or awaken. They can be a love relationship, a parent, a friend. The role is not important. Many more will come and go, but 5 are chosen. The other 5 are non-physical. They can be a lead guide, a friend or love that chooses to be with you at different times or all the time. These can be from other planets, including your home. Their purpose is always love and pure intent. Not all of these are guides. Why 10? The 10 beings each have a role in awakening a particular energy gate or chakra in your life. There are many awakenings going on. The non-physical beings can be a guide but are not necessarily a guide. There are other non-physical that can come and go in your lifetime that just send love into your field, or cleanse and repair chakras. 7 exit points. In your lifetime waking dream, you will have 7 exit choices by your soul. This explains why some babies, children, teens, or those that are still young and die when their life seems perfect. The soul has a plan to give or to learn and expand, to teach, and when this is done is not known to another. A baby has a soul that is ageless, infinite, powerful, and if they choose to leave, it might be that they came to teach the parents about love, or to let go of the story, or 1,000 things. When someone is in a car accident and they report leaving the body and looking at the wreck, this is an exit point. Many choose to leave, some stay. Some live to be 100, but in that span, there has been at least 6 exit points by then. The 7th is their final. We all can look back and see moments that were exit points. Maybe spared from a wreck, a robbery, an illness, or something similar. Laka, 7 soul exits. Sacred creation. Neo, many of you have religious beliefs, doctrine, or no belief or assurance at all. Many have left doctrine as it is simple to research the ever-changing words of mankind. As rulers collected scriptures and decided what people would be taught, please understand that fear was at the forefront of all. Fear drew people in dread and not love for a creator described as angry, jealous, vindictive, and a murderer who took sides. Religions were formed and humans were born into various regions of Earth. Children embraced what they were told by parents. So you find yourself now in this final waking dream. You did not dare ask a clergyman to explain the horrors in Scripture that were told to be by the one that is love. There are many beliefs, and you live with free will. You have the choice to believe what you choose. How is this working out? Have you noticed that begging God for a child to be healed has not worked? Know fully that God is spirit and reacts to each form of life energetically in a matching vibrational frequency. Some illnesses were planned by the soul as a catalyst for growth and expansion. Nothing is wasted and everything is working for your good with a change in perspective. You were never meant to remain here. With the light of God Alako, or any name of your understanding, Elohim is many, new love is one. There is no understanding of infinity to the human mind. There is understanding of beginnings and endings. For a moment we return to Elohim and the understanding of expressions of the divine with intention, becoming many. These are called by many names now. Know that these names are for your understanding only. In a vibrational frequency, density, of 12D, dimension location, many knew themselves as this love. They communicated without language in tones and light. They created forms for themselves and chose others to be with. There were fairies, angels, Pleiadians, Arcturians, Andromedans, Sirians, Orions, and more. These names did not exist in the beginning. Pleiadians ventured out first and chose many stars. They knew one another as mates and grew in power and knowledge. They discovered the divinity of Source was their power. Light guided them to speak in words that became language. Others ventured to the planets and beings mentioned. Fairies and angels traveled the multiverses and loved all. Archangels rose to serve and travel without a stationary home. All learned to communicate and visit other stars. Telepathy was created and technology grew. FAE assisted with crafts and discovered their power and magic to assist the forming of the Galactic Federation. There was peace among the great races. Assembling for meetings, it was decided first by Pleiadians to visit Earth since its creation. Humans were seated with physiology and aspects of the Divine One. These aspects, you know as souls. In these moments, we understand this cannot be comprehended. Hearing truth for the first time will take time to accept. Take what resonates and leave the rest. Let it settle and it will all make sense. The first area that interested Pleiadians is in the area you call Sweden. These humans looked like Pleiadians and many had blonde hair and blue eyes. They were taught about love and unity, they thrived and learned. Then negative races that were from distant stars had also found life and discovered Earth. They were troublemakers and Pleiadians protected the humans in the location of love and created a crystal city for them. In this place of crystals and light beneath the surface, these humans thrived and lived in beauty. They learned to travel to the Pleiades and return to their home beneath the surface of Earth. They did not die in body form but created homes on Pleiadian stars which would become their star of origin. These beautiful beings remain in the Crystal City with crafts and high technology. They will join you as you shift to Sheen. The Galactic Federation joined in unity with the races of Elohim. It was decided that more of Earth would be inhabited and soul experience enjoyed. Souls from each star began to incarnate by choice and with free will. It was thought that the flowering of Earth would bring unity among races and allow the return to origin by leaving the body in perceived death. Knowing free will would be the only choice also allowed duality. Neo, sacred creation. Awareness and the soul's journey. Akatu, resisting necessary change will only prolong repetitions of experience that you outgrew long ago. Observing the chaos of the planet in these moments will often energetically remind you of past disappointments when in truth, you have mastered the most difficult challenges with grace and bravery. If you view life as the way it is supposed to be, you are in for more surprises. This will never be reality. The moment you hold on to an idea, a person, money, or vanity, you will quickly notice all has shifted and now you have a new reality. This is life on Earth. Letting go will allow you excitement and the absence of feeling like a victim. Being led by emotions will make you feel you are on a never-ending carousel and the only way off is to jump. Breathe deeply. Don't jump. Dial it down and dance for a moment. You will find that eventually in the tiring of the injustice of it all, a glimmer of light will call to you. You will remember there is a greater purpose. You will remind yourself of the endless illusions that you created as breadcrumbs to follow. Where? Only to the light of being. You will look within and remember the clues that will lead you out of the wilderness. You will remember the freedom and power of your soul. In this place of light, you have set the stage for the shift of the ages, for expanded consciousness and for the infinite knowing that you are completely safe and loved beyond any waking dream that you remember. You will know fully who you are and your divine purpose with all that gather in joy with you to celebrate. Akatu is awareness and the soul's journey. Reincarnation. Neo, we wish to teach you more about reincarnation and the soul's choice. Before each incarnation, there is a meeting of souls. In this sacred meeting, there are many decisions made. It seems that there is much confusion about life choices. However, it is very important to understand that once you enter this time-space reality, you would not choose to have disability, pain, or any type of suffering. Why is that true for all? Because once you enter the story of you, the ego takes over. This is not the soul. You forget your plan. You think you are this person with a name given to you. You struggle to understand all of the many trials you face. You witness so many going to the dark side. Others hold on to religion as a way of false safety. In truth, you are always safe. Awakening is realizing that you are living a brief story. You are a powerful and sacred soul that is having a brief human experience. This is one of unknown numbers you live in form. You will remember who you are when you leave the body. Awakening is knowing this before the body dies. We also want to remind you that you are sharing this time-space with others in the chosen dream. All have free will that is gifted from our one source creator. So there is much suffering and heartache as the witness to what you want to stop or prevent. But you are not able to change the story for others or for yourself except in the moment. The many things that occur in your life here were not planned by you. Many of them were. Nothing is wasted. Even the worst pain can be a catalyst to change for the better. We invite you to a higher view of humanity. To know that it is possible to find peace within in a perceived planet of pain. To choose love over fear. To learn true forgiveness. Realize the impermanence of the story of you. Neo reincarnation. Walk-ins. Laka, all walk-ins are starseeds with a name and specific origin of creation. Their purpose is to swap places in a body form with a starseed soul that has carried the story to a certain point. These souls know one another, and the discussion was made and decided before the human life began. There are multiple variations of reasons for the swap. Let's say that a soul decides to create a story that is wonderful, but they wish to experience a physical malady to understand life in all aspects. They arrive and the illness or malady expresses in the years to come. The human form is fading, and at times there is great suffering. At a certain point, the souls communicate and connect energetically as one leaves the body and the other enters. With a new vibration, attention is given to the form in a manner of healing and restoration. The story continues. In another example, there might be an auto accident and the body is dying. The soul is observing from above and notices all of the injuries and what it would take to recover. The soul friend who has also been observing will assure the soul that they are ready to begin the entrance. The agreement from long ago is put in place. Many might wonder if family or friends could tell a difference. There would be subtle differences at first, but the downloading of all information is quickly assessed and incorporated into the one life and story. The soul completely adapts as the life force, and there are changes in the human physiology. There are many situations that have had soul agreements change, and a walk-in to the current life is not needed. The moment comes and the soul assesses the situation and decides to re-enter the body again to continue the life. Many will relate stories of being above their body and observing the activity of others, conversations, and seeing other beings. Some have called this experience NDEs, or near-death experiences. There are thousands of walk-ins on Earth now. You might have family members or friends that were in dire situations and came through it with stories of beings of light, other worlds, or they discover new talents and a zest for life not present before. Most walk-ins have enhanced the life of the human with guidance to discover the sacred essence within. Though it sounds strange to many, the life of each soul is infinite and can arrive twice in a lifetime. As long as there is an agreement, the soul has this power of being. There are pets that have had walk-in souls. If a pet is close to death of the body, that soul may choose to exit as another enters to see life through. Another amazing and meaningful moment of information is that your pet's soul may choose to incarnate into a new body to be with you. Life is wonderful and spectacular as you view it from the soul's perspective. It is all an experience of spirit and consciousness. It is all created in love. You have lost nothing. You have gained infinite wisdom for millennia. There is never a permanent goodbye as you meet one another again. Be at great peace. Find the light in all souls before you. Laka walk-ins. Twin souls, twin flames, and soulmates. Pleiadian Collective, we will discuss twin souls and twin flames and what they mean to you. Before going into depth with this, we will briefly touch on soulmates. Soulmates are created by the false self or ego. A soulmate is created from the longing of the true self. The identity is never satisfied until there is a connection with another. The projection to another will create thoughts and feelings that one wishes to see. The other person is none of that. They are projecting also. In a romantic feeling that fades as energy, the two projections dissolve over time. Many will fight and find the other disgusting. And others will remain quietly together in disbelief that they actually thought this person was perfect. Another illusion. All soulmates are created on Earth and are not a soul plan. For those that find love and peace in these relationships, it is because they have at last found the love within themselves. A twin soul is created in origin as the original soul wishes to incarnate and split into two soul aspects. The soul is absolutely able to do this as the power and light of God, Akatu, is the life force. The decision is made and locations and stories are chosen. They may choose to be male and female or the same gender. They might choose opposite sides of the planet and never meet at all. They will always have a longing and awareness of something missing. Often these identities become very creative and they are teachers. Many are empaths and they tend to enjoy being alone. As a waking dream is completed, the aspects of soul have designed their departure together. The integration will be completed as one soul. This is always the original soul that is infinite. The understanding of all memories are carried in the Akashic of this soul. They will have wisdom gleaned from their twin aspect of being. Only love and the power of light will remain. Twin flames are created by the individual soul as they plan a waking dream with a friend, family member, or mate. They agree to play roles of love, discord, and deep lessons that will expand consciousness. They understand that Earth is a school for learning and nothing is wasted. They have a divine appointment to meet on Earth, though their souls will allow them to forget. Twin flames are drawn quickly by their vibrational frequencies into friendships and relationships. There is love with banter and disagreements. There are many opinions and judgments that are reconciled as they share life. They constantly mirror one another until resolutions are found. They often feel dysregulated when the other has left for a time. The process repeats with these identities with flare-ups and deep love. They learn and grow together through the dream of life. Beloved ones, you have found yourself many times in the presence of another who arrived with you for these moments of now. Be patient and still before reacting and destroying what your soul planned for you. In truth, all of you are souls that are longing for home and a better life. Pleiadian Collective, Twin Souls and Twin Flames. Bi-local service. Neo. Pleiadians consider all that is done for others to be service, and we do not call anything work. The service is to the light. We honor the light as our source of life and creation. Pleiadians and Arcturians often serve the light with bi-local service. This means that the soul on the star has a name of soul and origin. They are more than spirit. They live in form. These races have been given powerful abilities to project an aspect of their soul in consciousness to another location. When doing this, a body is projected also. The body can be seen in two places. The consciousness is fully integrated and knows both places and what is going on. To move and perform this way requires the soul. An aspect of the soul is simply a chosen part of the whole that can stand in and perform and then return to the complete soul at the moment of leaving. This is very brief, but allows rescues without crafts. This is only one kind of service to the light. There are many. Karma. Neo, we have spoken many times about the balancing of energy within each set of variables in action. Let us go more deeply as you wonder about your current waking dream as well as the Akashic. There are many religions, doctrines, and cultures that each soul chooses for experience and understanding as each soul incarnates many times. In these moments, let go of fear-based teachings and you will understand the simplicity and purpose of karma. The universe is governed by laws that apply to every being. You have heard, you reap what you sow, Newton's law, which states that for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. And, do unto others as you would have them do unto you, then there is, what goes around, comes around. All of these state truth in different wording. When you harm another in action or words, you are harming yourself. You share an energetic quantum field that extends to all life. This field is non-judgmental as the laws of man know only judgment. This infinite field of divine consciousness reacts and interacts with the interface of your being. God does not take sides. The actions you choose in each life only affect that particular life. When the body dies, the actions dissolve with the identity. The soul is perfect and the choices available are to return to origin, remain in non-physical for an extended period, meeting with guides and comforting family. Or the soul may choose to incarnate again for experience in understanding life from another perspective. They are born with a fresh energetic slate. They have the gift of free will and may make better choices, or they may repeat the same negative actions. In each life, the energy put out is the energy they live in. This energy creates the living field around the body and draws matching energy back in. like a boomerang. So without judgment, each person is creating much of the calamity they experience by projecting harm to another. It comes right back to you. Sometimes it does not come at that moment. There may be moments that a person believes nothing will happen. But it will happen in another scenario with another person. The betrayer will be betrayed. The liar will be lied to by another. The variables of stories may be very different, but the result will be the same. There are also souls that choose one path, and once they incarnate, they have a new false identity but choose darkness again and again. This is free will. They may go to prison or be killed. They may develop into a psychopathic mind in their individual life and returning with the intention to understand the dark path they took from a higher place. They fall back into the pattern simply by the choice of dabbling in the area. Until an identity is aligned with the perfect soul, they often repeat patterns without knowing they have done this in other lives. When living in any waking dream, there are choices and options to turn to even a glimpse of light to receive help and assistance. Once the decision is made to remain dark, this is allowed as free will. In this final waking dream, there are questions about those that choose darkness and refuse light. This is a choice and hard to imagine. Assistance will be given to all as the grand shift covers the planet with light. There will be a small number who choose darkness. They will also be assisted. We will not stop until the absolute calling from darkness is for us to leave. The earth will grow dark, but not die completely. The new earth in sheen will be perfection and beauty. The earth left behind will be transformed over a long period of restoration, but much will be lost. Know fully that light creates infinitely, and the gathering of light will replenish earth again. In these moments left, encourage all beings to love and forgive. Know that only good is before you. Become that which you desire and know that you are creating it now. You carry the light. Shine brightly for others. Neo Karma. Extraterrestrial groups currently incarnated on Earth. Archangels, Pleiadians, Arcturians, Sirians, Andromedans, Orions, Avians, Tilapia Pica. How many different soul origins have there been in total since the beginning of the Earth? 180. Pleiadian souls. Neo, the Pleiadians are highly evolved spiritually and understand the ways of Earth and all planets. We do not die either except in the story in body form. All is existing in the field, the quantum field, the mind of God, the multiverses, or the name chosen. All life is connected, even if it is dark and light, because these are only because of the perception of duality in that density and dimension. Oneness is truth, and Pleiadians understand this, and this is why we do things as we do. We teach and protect. Taygeta. There are 2,830 souls incarnated from Taygeta. There are many pure Pleiadians on the ground that come and go. The ones here now are because of the shift. Archangel soul incarnations. Pleiadians have shared that there are 3,850 archangels incarnated in human bodies for the shift. There are 802,058 archangels assisting us in non-physical. All archangels can incarnate for a purpose greater than just to experience duality as a human. Archangels are the only beings who are immune to any form of negative entity attachments while human. Other humans can pick up astral parasites through negative behavior. This is a major advantage when an archangel incarnates as part of a greater plan to bring truth. When an archangel chooses to incarnate, there are meetings with Pleiadian contacts. They commune in a sacred group and go over all aspects of a proposed incarnation and make decisions about what will be best. Many who work in these groups are here on Earth now and are being drawn in by this information. Earth Native Souls. Akatu, understanding fully that all life is God expressing in form and in the formless, will take you to the beginning of Earth souls. Those that were born on Earth, died in body and lived on. We will discuss these souls and their progression as they journey still. These are the souls that were not created in perfect physical beauty with abilities to thrive as those in the higher realms. Just the same, all were sacred in their beginning and will remain with sacred essence infinitely. Bodies were frail with little muscle development as they were arriving from source on planet Earth that was created almost 5 billion years ago. They lived moments, hours, days and weeks and returned over and over with the breath of God. Eating grass and leaves or insects, they were learning of the power to survive. With feelings, blood and bone, the soul came forth in each. Infants were born as mothers died in childbirth. Tribes were formed to care for one another. In open land they died in drought, floods, cold and heat. Learning to make fire, they survived with eating and cooking small animals. Starvation drove them to fight and kill one another. Instinct rose and only the strong could survive. Fishing with their hands gave a new way to find food. Using leaves and branches from trees and bushes, they created clothing for warmth and protection. Finding larger animals, they fought to the death or won the victory and had food for the tribe and clothing from animal skins. They painted their faces with berries and flower stains and chanted in sounds understood by one another. Since the beginning of Earth, they roamed and cycled back to Earth in reincarnation. Those that became stronger needed teaching and felt alone on a barren planet. 30 million years ago, the Galactic Federation had been watching and listening to those in such need. They arrived and approached many as tribes ran and hid from the beings from the sky. With love and patience, the members of the light forces brought vegetables and flowers to seed the earth. The tribes were taught to make colorful pottery and to weave soft material to cover the body and to sleep with comfort. The Galactic Federation cracked rocks and made streams for abundant water supplies and taught them to find water throughout the earth. Huts were created with mud and grass, and the people began to smile. The tribes thought flowers were magnificent, and this made the fairies who came with the Galactic Federation very happy indeed. They made the flowers glow in the center, and the tribes would jump and dance in joy. Life continued with many trips in motherships, bringing large animals and more beautiful gardens of vegetables. Fear left the tribes as they waited for the magical beings from the sky. They felt love. Sounds of language was used, but more structure was needed. A combination of the languages of the races of the Galactic Federation began to blend with the indigenous tribes. Around the Earth, many languages were forming and dialects were heard in beauty. The Galactic Federation were messengers of light, and their intention was to raise the frequency of those living on Earth to sustain themselves in a far greater capacity. When death came by body, the Galactic Federation created a beautiful haven in non-physical to welcome each soul in love. Understanding their creation and those that loved them, they learned of the source that created all life. Over and over they chose to return to Earth. As origins from Elohim created stars visited Earth and chose to incarnate in human form, the native souls became intertwined with them in love and with creating families. Those of star origins returned home, but many chose to return to Earth many times for experience and expanded consciousness. Always choosing to forget their origin, they became fully invested in Earth life for moments in timelessness. The native souls are sacred and now part of the grand family, as many have starseeds as family. As the Earth shifts, these beloved souls will have choices to remain on the new Earth, or travel on with those souls that they know so well. They have shared life, their blood, the birth of infants and the death of the body with galactic visitors that have taught them about the great light of an unseen God. All life is created by the light of one source. Akatu, Earth native souls. Different galaxies and becoming Earth families. Laka, many have the misconception that each incarnation to Earth will be in a family that is also from their star. Many times this is very true, and many waking dreams have families on Earth that are families on their star of origin. In many other dreams, you will find yourself with a son, daughter, or spouse from another galaxy or constellation. Why is this important, and what would be the reason for discussion? Many souls with their identity on Earth, all wrapped up in a story of love, might assume their loved ones came from the same origin. It can be very surprising for a Pleiadian starseed to discover their child is from Sirius or the Andromeda constellation. This is very common, but you have never had anyone to tell you. Here we are again, blowing your mind with more new concepts and facts. Always done with love. In the higher realms, and especially with the Elohim races that incarnate, there are deep friendships and sometimes mates and families among the beloved souls that you now know many details about. Sirians and Andromedans see life in complete purity and love. They view life as one. Their whole existence is based on the love and devotion for their race and others they meet. Pleiadians and Arcturians are close friends and visit often for meals and wonderful music on many stars. As you think about your world and those that are your friends, you often are considering a close proximity. As you travel in cars and even planes, you can see that distance is a factor. Now, take your mind to the higher realms where all families have crafts and unlimited abilities as the powerful unflawed soul. Races fly in body form as easily as you walk. You will return to your magnificent abilities, and you will remember precious friends and family from many places. You will always have one origin, but you have loved many. Another aspect of soul that we will discuss is gender. You are created in your soul origin as male or female. When you enter a waking dream, your soul will choose either. You have lived as male and female on earth many times. Many that are males in this dream are female in origin. And the same for females. You might be a mother and have feminine traits and be a large muscular male in origin. The story is not real. It is created by your soul. You will be completely happy as your true self. No worries. The earth is a school of learning that is guided by your soul. When the false personality has not awakened, there is not soul alignment, so discord and unrest will be present. To align with your soul, meditate with gratitude and the intention to serve others. Become the love that you are within. Lakai different galaxies and becoming Earth family. Life on other planets. Akatu, in these brief moments, we will discuss the vast solar system and the pinpoint of awareness that you share with others in this waking dream. There is much more than you can comprehend, but we will focus on small aspects. There are billions of solar systems. The Milky Way is one of them and quite small in comparison to many others. There are billions of stars and planets that are known and unknown to humans within your solar system. There is one sun that powers and gives life in your solar system. The sun orbits the center of the Milky Way as constant movement occurs with stars orbiting other stars, and the beloved Earth rotates and observes many planets and stars from your position. Gravitational pull assures that no star or planet will suddenly lose orbit and be lost. Knowing this allows you further to understand you are one with all creation. The planets most known to you with a created name on Earth are Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Knowing there is life on billions of other stars and planets will allow your consciousness to expand. Knowing fully that life looks very different than what you perceive in your body form, and you would look very strange to races on other planets. Indeed, they might run. Pleiadians have visited the stars mentioned here. All are aware of one another. Each has their own way of living and technology shared and developed on each planet. We always visit as friends and prefer that all beings recognize our place in existence. They do not visit or share lives in any way. They are peaceful and choose privacy. The planets respect Pleiadians and Arcturians greatly, and there are times when they have allowed speaking engagements from ambassadors and goddesses regarding peace and unity. These planets have embraced peace, but will never choose to join us in light. They understand they are created by a source unknown to them. We teach them that there is one creator, which is called by many names. Pleiadians, Arcturians, Sirians, Andromedans, and Orions do not incarnate to these planets. Earth has been the primary focus of our waking dreams, with the plan to always unite as one with expanded consciousness and infinite light as we meet in Sheen and have endless choices. Traveling with loved ones and friends will open infinite possibilities. Our intention has never been to intrude or take over another's free will. Prime Creator as Infinite Spirit gave light to us within to share with those who would embrace this great love. In truth, we recognize one Creator, and that truth needs no defending. When Earth was created by God, Pleiadians were the first to explore and observe the inhabitants. As we were created in Elohim in 12th density, we understood our power and abilities. We discovered primitive life on Earth that lacked color and creativity. It was our gift from the Prime Creator of all to assist and serve by bringing animals, colorful flowers, art, music, and crystals to the beings native to Earth. The flourishing was magnificent, and we came and left in crafts. We were thought to be sky gods. We came as friends and teachers. Choices were made to incarnate and teach further how to create paradise on Earth. Duality prevailed, and with free will there have always been wars and discord. But the light remained and became even brighter. Our friends from Arcturus, Andromeda, Sirius, and Orion chose to experience life on Earth by incarnating and visiting. Find comfort in knowing you live with the family of light. There will be great peace and honor as the Earth shifts into the higher states of being. Akatu, planetary involvement. Earth native souls and sheen. Akatu, as starseeds understand the gathering in Sheen brings souls from their origin and many races throughout the cosmos to a grand celebration. They also understand they will have choices of remaining on the new Earth, returning to their star of origin, or traveling. The light is unlimited, and all souls will gather in love with no constraints. Earth native souls were not created in perfect form with circulating light. As we have shared in other communications, they were quite frail and learned through many dreams that survival and strength were possible. Becoming families with starseeds that left the higher realms for experience and higher consciousness allowed growth and development exponentially. Created by the source of all life, they blended and became knowledgeable as they learned to maneuver through duality. Lives became longer as bodies grew in strength and development. Earth native souls died in body form but were gathered by Elohim races of the Galactic Federation and given a beautiful haven of light in the non-physical aspect of life. They returned to Earth over and over and chose many lives around the great planet. As the Earth shifts in consciousness and light becomes the absolute for all beings, native souls will also be able to choose their location of being. The connection of many families on Earth that have been native to Earth and joined to starseeds will allow Earth native souls to remain in Sheen or return with souls they have loved for waking dreams to the stars of shared families. Earth native souls will have abilities for the first time that starseeds will return to as familiar life. In Sheen, Earth souls will use telepathy and travel in crafts. All souls will enjoy sharing beautiful gardens with lush plants in great variety for nourishment. Without toxins, bodies will be strong and never experience death as they will circulate light with a crystal heart. All beings will live in harmony as they share their expressions of art, designs, and all creative abilities as they experience oneness and love for all. Learning and technology will continue without end, and all will prosper and share all goods. Pets and all animals that have experienced duality will thrive and only know love. Everyone will connect with beloved pets and loved ones who played roles for them in each waking dream. Some reading this might wonder about space and size and how everything and everyone will fit in an area. Beloved ones, you will not be bound by the perception and visualization of Earth as you know it. You will live in true timelessness with unlimited space. If you look in a direction, more will appear. You will fully understand your creative expression. For you carry Source within as the expression of all life. So be at great peace as you understand Earth native souls will join you in light. Many remain on Earth now, and those in havens of light live as powerful souls that are perfect in the essence of God. With power and consciousness, they will join you in perfected bodies at the grand shift. Akatu, Earth native souls in Sheen.